God bless you. Welcome. My name is Pastor Paul Young, and this is the Preacher's Corner podcast. Today, we're going to be discussing I don't have a problem. My problem has a problem. Sit back, relax, take a listen. I'll be right back.
God, hear me today. Church, we are living in a time where the world is shaking, trembling, groaning. Systems are failing, leaders are stumbling, and a nation, my God, nations are confused and afraid, and the question rises up from the hearts of men. Where do we trust? Who do we trust? Who can save us now? But I came to preach to somebody today. You don't need a new world order. You need the Ancient of Days. You don't need a new system. You need the Savior. You don't need more government assistance. You need God. You don't need a bigger president. You need a bigger God. You don't need a new thing. You need the same God. The same God that delivered Daniel from the lion's den.
Our text today is 2 Kings 6:15 and 16. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than that be with them. Family, in 2 Kings 6, the servant of Elijah woke up early in the morning and saw the city surrounded by horses and chariots. His response was in panic. Alas, my master, how shall we do? He thought that they had a problem. But Elijah spoke faith over fear and said, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Then Elijah prayed one prayer. Lord, open his eyes that he may see. Here is your shout. Just because you don't see the deliverance doesn't mean that provisions has not been met. When God opened his eyes, the servant realized they weren't surrounded, the enemy was. Church, here is your revelation. I don't have a problem. My problem has a problem. We give the word problem too much power. We say personal problems, money problems, health problems, family problems. But the word says in Psalms 55 and 22, cast the burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. Trouble doesn't last always because trouble has an expiration date when God is involved. You take a look at Adam in Genesis 2 and 25, says Adam and Eve were naked and not ashamed. But in Genesis 3 and 10, Adam says, I hid myself because I was naked. He had the same body and the same condition, but what had changed was who he was listening to. God asked him, who told thee that thou was naked? According to Genesis 3 and 11. Disobedience will always be uncovered as a result. Adam blamed Eve, Eve blamed the serpent, but God went straight to the serpent and said, because thou hast done this thing, Genesis 3 and 14. The issue wasn't Adam, the issue was sin. But let's get back to Elijah. The servant thought that the enemy had the advantage, but heaven had already surrounded the threat. You thought that sickness had you surrounded, but your sickness was surrounded by your healing. Isaiah 53 and 5. Your lack is surrounded because according to Philippians 4 and 19, God shall supply all of your needs. Fear is not surrounding you. God has surrounded your fear. 2 Timothy 1 and 7 says, for he has not given us the spirit of fear. For what you thought was a problem truly has a problem. So today, don't pray remove the problem. Pray, Lord, open my eyes, because when you see, when your eyes are open, you will see that the problem has a problem. Somebody ought to shout right there, my problems has got a problem. We thank God for the Preacher's Corner podcast. Until the next time, may God continue to bless you.
The same God that walked with the Hebrew boys through the fire, the same God that helped David defeat Goliath, the same God that healed blind Bartimaeus, that opened the womb of Hannah, that delivered Peter out of the prison cell, the same God that gave strength to Samson, that helped Nehemiah build the wall, that preserved Joseph in the pit and the prison, the same God that called Abraham, that preserved Noah, that gave Jacob a dream,